Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Lila Web Dev. Today we are diving into the Node.js streams, specifically how to handle a massive file, something like let's say that 1 billion numbers or something we are having it, right? But here is a small twist. So we have already seen about that one, how to delete, but we are only going to extract the even numbers out of that big file. So and write them to our new destination file, all while keeping our memory usage minimal. So and trust me that trying to open that file in Visual Studio Code totally crashes. But with streams, no problem. Let's get on to it. For example, let's say that you are having a file which is an file_huge, which is a 5 GB. So when you try to open this one in Visual Studio Code or something other, any other editors, your total system will get crashed. Why? Because this total file, what it will try to do, it will try to load it in the memory and then it will show it in your Visual Studio Code. So now this means it will be taking 5 GB of your total RAM or memory. So that doesn't make sense. Instead of opening the entire file at once, so we are going to use the Node.js streams to read it one chunk at a time. So now for example, let's say that if you are having like this means, let's say that we are having a readable. Normally you will be able to know about this cat. Okay, file_huge. If I try to press enter, see it is going on reading the data, showing the data, but I can do parallelly my work. Whatever the work I want to do it, I can do it. This is possible only through the streams. So the cat is using behind the scenes streams and it is sending you the chunks of data so that it is going on showing the data using the less memory usage. Okay, so that means instead of trying to drink the whole thing at once, this is like sipping from a fire hose. So efficient and also controlled. So that is what the streams will try to do it. So running this command shows us some of the file contents using a stream-like approach. Notice how our system doesn't freeze. Everything works as expected. That's because cat is reading and printing it incrementally. So that is the main thing which you need to do. So now what we need to do, so our goal is read the file chunk by chunk. Okay, so right now we are having this code, right? So our goal is to read the file chunk by chunk, file_huge.txt, extract only the even numbers from it and write those even numbers only to the file. So that means totally if you are having an even numbers means, so one alternate numbers always will be a even number. So that means if you are having 5 GB means the destination file, the resultant file will be something around 2.5 GB, half of the file. So how can you determine even numbers? A number is even if number mod 2 is equal to 0. Simple. If the remainder is 0 when divided by 2, it is even. That is the main thing. So now we are having a file_huge.txt file. Since we have 1 billion numbers or something like that, we are having it. And every other number is an even. The result will be something around 2.5 GB. I told you, right? So the destination file will end up with an, if it is 1 billion numbers means it will be 500 million even numbers. Right? It's half of the things it will be. So that is one thing. So now let's try to get it into the code. So first let's get into the code and first we need to read a chunk and convert it into a string. So here we are having the chunk. So if you try to print the console.log of chunk, so let's try to show you the chunk value. And instead of taking the file_huge, I will take simple file. So then afterwards we can use the file so that you can able to see it clearly, or otherwise you can use the file_huge also, that's not a problem. And here if I try to show you the code for this one, let me show you the code for this one, how it will handle. Node read big, yeah. If I try to show you, it is showing you the buffer. Okay, so it is showing you the buffer of data. So now it is showing you the buffer of data means what you need to do. Generally, as we discussed that the buffer data is nothing but an hexadecimal digit of a binary digit. So that means each value, each number is an hexadecimal digit. So it's a binary value. So now let's try to convert it into a string. So here I will try to do chunk.toString of, so you can mention optionally UTF-8. By default it will be UTF-8 only. If you don't mention it also, it is a UTF-8. So now if you try to do the same thing for this one, CLS, and now you are able to see the values, we are able to get the values for this one. So what I need to do, I need to get all the values as a chunk. So here it is displaying all things. So let's try to get the chunk. So how can I get this one? So here I can do constant numbers is equal to chunk dot to string, okay, dot split. I can use the split and I will be using with a single space. So fine, let's try to console.log of numbers. So what does the split do? The split does nothing. So what it will try to do, it is, for example, let's say that if you are having a 1 2 3 4 something like that, means then it will try to split it. So if you go here CLS, so if you are having here, so let's say that constant s is equal to, okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So you are having it something like this, okay, oh sorry, so you are having something like this, syntax inspected, okay. So let's say that you are having a string like this, okay. So now if I try to split it with a comma, then let's see how you will get an output. So you will be able to see that 1 2 3 4 has been, we got it. So if you are having the space also, one and the same only, so you need to split it with the space. So that is the factor what we are trying to do it. Now we are having we are splitting with this one, and let's try to see the output for this. So here I will do the node read big. So here you will be able to see it has been divided, but one empty space we are getting it here. So why we are getting this one empty space every alternate time? So let's try to see this file for that one. So that means we are using two spaces. If you go to our writable and writemode.js file, so here we are using one space here and also another space here. So that's why we are getting two spaces. So now if I try to run the same thing here, see here now you are able to see all the values, we are able to get it. But here one problem is there. If you try to observe carefully, the first digit is not looking correct. The first digit of each chunk, the first data is not looking correct, right? The first number is not looking correct. I don't know. So sometimes you are getting single digit. So single digit only all the time I am getting it. I don't know. The first number is not looking perfect. So what could be the reason? Let's try to see it. So now if you are not getting correct, means let's try to check it. Numbers of 0. Let's try to check the 0 of this one. So if you try to check the 0 of this one, and also if you are getting something like this one, means, so if you are getting here something like this one, means maybe the last number also is not looking nice. So what will happen? Let's try to see here. So numbers of I will try to check numbers dot length -2. So the before number I will check it, and also I will check the number of length -1. So whether these two are correct or not. So here I will try to show you console.log division. I will keep it. Let's see this one. And if we run this code, what will happen? Let's see. So CLS, and if I try to run this one, see the first number 448063 and the next number is not, it should be 5556, it should be, it is not there. So here this one is matching 998 and 9999, so it is matching. So that means it is the exact number is there, but number for some values the number is not there. For some values we are able to see the exact value is there. So this is because what is happening is when the buffer is trying, when the stream is trying to read the chunk of data, so 65 KB is a 64 KB is the maximum high water limit for the readable, right? So if you are able to get high water limit reached, means the half of the digits are getting sent to the next chunk, or will be sent in the next chunk. So that is the reason. So the number is splitted into two parts. In the first part is coming in the first chunk, and second part is coming in the second chunk. So it is something like a 8-digit number, right? Each one will take the 1 byte, that is nothing but the 8 bits. So that is the reason it is taking like that. So now in order to check this one whether it is working properly or not, so that means if I try to print the number of 0, it will match here. So console.log numbers of 0. Okay. So now let's see whether we can able to get it or not. Let's try to see. So here if I try to print it here, the first one will be always correct, right? So the first one, so here you will be able to see 10,948. Okay, fine. So file descriptor, we are not closing the file handle, so that's why it is showing you. Okay, fine, that's not a problem. And if you try to check it here, so what is that I am trying to show? Numbers of length -1, numbers of 0, it's correct one, right? Let's go down. Yeah, so now these two, okay, these two, whatever you are trying to check it, these two you need to keep it here. So that means 71 and 72, and this 4 you need to keep it here, 63 and 64, and here this 8 you need to keep it here, 647 and 648. So like this, the first value and the last value, so it the first value of this one is nothing but this a part of this, so that's why it is getting truncated. So now if you try to check it here, so we need to handle that first and last numbers, and we need to find the even numbers. So let's try to do it in the next video. So you hope you understood about this chunk thing, how the chunk values is getting differentiated in the buffer, in the streams, while we are trying to get the chunks data in the buffer. Hope you understood about this one. So I will try to we'll try to solve this issue in the next video. So that's it guys about this one. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video, and if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.